face is hot. I don't know if I'm ready. It's like really warm.
Is it warm?
No, it's just I don't know. Me, I'm just like really hot.
It's all the tea. It's some hot tea.
I don't know. Like I went in my dad's room and it was like super hot. I don't know why. Anyways, like that water bottle. Did you get the running joke? Yeah.
I was looking at that earlier. I was like, no way.
All right, let's do this. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Life Coach Kochka. This is episode 12. Today I am here with a very special guest. I've known this person since did we meet 8th grade football?
8th grade football, yeah.
Okay,
just
yeah.
about.
Yeah.
That was the summer before 8th grade year.
Yeah.
That we started preseason. We started
Yeah.
like passing league and all that.
This is Ryan MacGilfrey, by the way. Give me a hand.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But yeah, we started with Coach Haas.
Yes,
Coach Haas
dude.
and all of them. Remember our short little team of 17?
Yeah.
We had Bo, we had Robert, Jack Zitko, and all of them. Who was I remember our starting quarterback was Bo, and then our secondary was Jack. That whole team, dude, was just
8th grade, yeah.
I
And Robert, dude, the first time we met Robert.
That was the scariest experience of my life because I had never seen a lineman run that fast.
I know.
That was different though. Like
right.
The 8th grade year for me was honestly a struggling year because that was when I got diagnosed. I think you remember I got diagnosed with arthritis. In my ankles and knees then.
Okay.
So like from that, I kind of just didn't. I was still trying to be active with the team and stuff, and I tried to stay as active as I could because that's what I was told would help.
Right.
But that kind of just stemmed from, like, all of middle school. I kind of had health issues. I had this thing wrong with my eye, and it was just like a lot of inflammation.
Yeah.
And I had like a lot of obstacles that got in my way with school and my sports, which kind of sucked because that made up like most of my life, just sports and being active and just being out and about and stuff. But come like 7th grade, I was diagnosed with uveitis in the left eye.
Okay.
And that basically is because I have this gene that can both cause uveitis and arthritis. And
damn, whoa.
It was
Yeah.
We thought it was pink eye.
Oh, really?
Yeah, when we first saw it, we asked the doctor, is this pink eye? We talked to them over the phone, described it. They're like, yeah, just take some drops. I go to the doctor, and they're like, dude, how are you holding your eye open right now? That shouldn't be happening.
Whoa.
So 8th grade comes along. After that whole thing, I had to do so much medication. Yeah. But 8th grade comes along, and I was about midway through passing league. And I think you remember I would be limping around practice sometimes, and I just kind of didn't. I wasn't always fully able to do everything.
Yeah.
And 8th grade comes around, and I just completely I didn't give up on trying with practice. I still wanted to try, but I realized none of the coaches were really going to play me. And Coach Haas would talk to me about it, and I'd talk with you guys. I would talk with my teammates and everybody, just try to keep my mind off it. But they had me on 6 different medications in that one year just to try to figure out what was going to work.
Whoa, okay. Do you have like huge mood swings and stuff like that? Because 6 medications, something's got to...
Yeah, I would get, not exactly mood swings, but it would definitely change my state of mind.
Okay.
Like, I was taking prednisone at one point, which is just a steroid to help with inflammation.
That explains a lot.
Yeah, I had a lot of aggression 8th grade and freshman year. I hated all of the. I was small. I was small compared to all of you guys.
And Ryan, before this, you were scrawny. Let's keep it real, right?
Tiny.
Yeah.
I was a little dude. I was pretty much the runt of my family, which I always saw it as motivation to try to better myself.
Right.
And freshman year was really hard. Trying to make it through the football season. I rarely played. I didn't really see a lot of practice time either. Mm-hmm. And Coach Jamal eventually found out. He found out from my mom actually, and he intern kind of took me under his wing
Yeah.
to try to like make sure I was okay, because he told me he had something like in his elbow, right? And I was like, okay, so you kind of get what I'm going through right now. But practicing didn't really help me get better, and neither did the medications. And the only thing that really would make me feel better at an eventual point was the hard medications they were giving me. They were giving me cancer medications. Like, come the end of my freshman year, they put me on low doses of cancer medication to kill the inflammatory cells. But those mood swings you're talking about, those came up. I would get really mad because I'd get sick. I would get like throwing up sick, and I'd get pissed, and I would just like, I don't want to take these anymore. And then sophomore year was probably one of the most difficult times of my high school career, just because that's midway through my season. I think we were playing Valley Center. I was told like my arthritis had moved up into my lower back. Whoa. I did x-rays prior to this, and they were pretty much my worst fears that came to realization, is that I felt like I wasn't going to be able to, I felt like I wouldn't be as capable as I was, you know? I felt like everything was just kind of deteriorating in me, and I didn't really know what to do at the time. And then I remember specifically, I would talk with like you, Nico, Bryce, and them, and I would tell you guys like how it was affecting me. But I eventually, and this is when I started lifting, I got over my whole self-pity thing, and I was just like, you know what, I don't want to be this person who's just going to be hurting his whole life, that's going to let his pain control him, or let this kind of thing define him.
Yeah, exactly.
So that towards the end of that sophomore year, my brother could really tell like how things were getting to me. I told him I was going to quit football, actually, just because I wasn't playing. I was hurting. I felt like I wasn't really going anywhere. But then he told me, you know what, I feel like there's something more we could do here. And I really thank my brother for this. He got me in the gym. He really got me to start like pushing past my pain, my limits, and everything. And around this time is when I got put on a new type of drug, which I'm still taking today, Humira, and it basically is just a little shot you stick in your leg, like Epi.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Oh, dude, the first time I had to take it, I swear I sat there for like an hour because I was like so nervous.
Oh, yeah.
I was shaking. I was like, oh, okay. And then eventually, like, I got used to it. But that was the only medication. As soon as I took it, I think in May of sophomore year, I felt instantly better. I started lifting. I felt better about myself. I got really... I got back into school, really, my sophomore year. I started paying attention again. My freshman year, I let my whole thing get to me. I missed a lot of school because there were some mornings I just couldn't get up. Like, it would affect you like that, and you'd feel like every bone in your back and your knee and your ankles were just tensing up, and then you put pressure on them, and it just feels like it's pinching.
Wow, damn.
But I pushed past everything, and... when I started lifting that summer, I gained, I think you all noticed too, because I think I had about half the school accusing me of steroids.
Whoa.
Never used them. Yeah, I had half the school accusing me of using steroids over the summer of my sophomore year because I jumped up from about 125 to 130 all the way up to 170, 175 range by the end of my sophomore year.
Wow.
And then junior year, I kind of just maintained that weight. And you all saw, like, the difference.
Oh, yeah.
Just because I didn't expect that much of a difference in a 2-month period. If I'm being honest, I didn't see too much of a difference either. You guys all did. But by the end of my junior year, I really felt like I had reached the body I wanted, the health I wanted. I felt like I could run. I felt like I could do everything I was doing. I remember when I did track one year, it was my sophomore year.
Yeah.
This was just before I got put on my medication. It was very restricting, like on my running.
Mm-hmm.
When I would be in football, it was a little easier because we're on grass and stuff,
Right.
and we have our cleats to kind of cushion things. With track and using that hard track, my ankle actually would get swollen to the point where it would like stretch my sock.
Whoa.
And I would tell my coaches and everything, and I was like, hey, like I can still run and stuff, but if it gets to the point where I'm falling, I kind of need to rest, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And Jamal, my pole vault coach, Coach Carter, he really understood like when I needed to take my breaks and everything, and that's honestly what helped the most is like having understanding coaches,
Yeah.
having friends that could both like I could talk to and things I could do like lifting. Lifting
Right.
became like my outlet with pretty much any kind of emotion. I just like I was pissed, I'd go to the gym. I'm happy, shoot, let's go lift. Or something like any kind of feeling, I'd want to go to the gym just to feel like I'm healthy again. Because
Right.
for a good portion of my life, which should have been one of the happier times of my life, obviously, was kind of lived in pain, kind of lived in
Okay.
like not fully able to do what I wanted to do.
Right.
You know?
So this wasn't a thing when you're like a kid? Like it only happened like in middle school you notice these kind of like stuff, health issues? Okay.
Yeah. So like
You're born and raised here, right?
born and raised San Diego,
Alright, cool.
and like all of my life I played football from the time I was 5. I saw my brother playing and I immediately wanted to play.
Yeah.
I played RPBW every year. I played basketball. I did motocross, and I was a very active kid.
Yeah.
And then come middle school, I started getting all these different diagnoses, and it became. At first, it became just annoying because I hated going to the doctor. Every kid hates going to the doctor.
Oh, right, yeah.
But at that point, I didn't realize the severity of my situation, and I kind of just was like, I could still walk about my day. Yeah, I'm hurting, but like I still had that smile on my face in middle school. I still was able to, you know, walk around and act normal.
Yeah.
Like nothing was going on. And if I'm being honest, not many people really knew until my junior year about any of this. Like I think I told you probably my freshman year.
Yeah, I knew about the arthritis part. I didn't know about your eye thing. I don't remember that.
That was pretty while back. That
Yeah.
I didn't even really like to think about just because that one didn't affect me besides school because
Yeah.
it makes you very sensitive to light basically.
Okay.
But the whole arthritis thing, I just basically I got a lot of special privileges from that with school. Like with high school, I got an IEP for it because of, like I said, some mornings I just want to be able to come.
Right.
And that's why I missed a lot of school. I did eventually fall behind in school freshman year just because of all of this. I ended up having to retake actually freshman English 2 and my senior year.
Is that Miss Wu?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Wu, right?
Yeah. You remember our Hall of Fame projects? She straight
Yeah, I
told me
do.
my Will Smith project just wasn't inspirational enough. I
What?
guess. I don't know. I failed that actually. I failed my
Oh.
Hall of Fame project despite having all the requirements, but she just told me it didn't seem very inspirational.
What?
That was
What
her
does
main
Miss Wu
argument.
know? Wow.
I was like, Miss Wu, give me an inspirational figure that's not from Asia,
Yeah.
please.
Right.
And she didn't really agree with like me and Bryce on anything because me and Bryce sat together during
Yeah.
that class. We would try to argue a lot of points in like the books we were reading, like when we were reading Of Mice and Men, stuff like that.
Dude, Bryce.
We would try to argue, and she did not like us. And I'll admit, like I didn't do the best in her class, but I still did about as much as everybody else.
Right.
So how I didn't pass that, I don't know. I think that was just Miss Wu.
Yeah.
I remember
yeah.
specifically Bryce's mom coming in and screaming out Miss Wu one time.
What? Over what? Do you know?
Same kind of thing.
Oh,
She didn't
just-
like me and Bryce. So like she
Wow.
failed Bryce on like a test or something, and she just came in and was like cussing that woman out. I remember me and Bryce were waiting outside too, just like
Yeah. Wow.
but I think sophomore year I definitely got better in school. I started paying attention more. I started actually feeling like I could pay attention because most of the medications I took also made me very drowsy. Like, I don't know if you would notice during Jennings, I would fall asleep a lot.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You did fall asleep a lot.
Yeah, I would just nod off just because most of the medications I took, they helped with the pain.
Well, plus it was a boring class.
Yeah.
It really
World
was.
literature. Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
But these medications were just, even the one I'm taking now still kind of makes me a little drowsy, but most of them would make me very energized, like right when I took them, and kill pretty much everything, that like the pain.
Yeah.
But as soon as I'm done, like with my stuff, all the pain came back, and I just felt tired. And it was a struggle. Like, I would say it was probably one of the things that kept me from actually studying in school. It's just how tired I was throughout all high school. And if I had a choice, I probably would have told my doctors like not to have like tried all those medications. I wish I had known like about right now I'm on a biologic. I wish I had known about biologics back then, because the amount of medications they put me through just to kind of test me, I was kind of like their test subject because they haven't really seen a case like mine before.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, you developed it later in life, and most people, they'll like start out with it. They'll like kind of start out like at 1 or 2. They'll notice like their baby's crying. It's because their joints are hurting. But me, they're like, you started when you were 12, 13, and it's kind of on and off with you. And they just didn't really know what to do with me, like what kind of medications to give me. So at some point I said, I don't need these medications. I don't want medications. I'd rather try to find a more natural way to fix this. Like, I actually ended up keeping a food diary during high school because I did a lot of reading up on this stuff. You get a lot of time to read on this kind of stuff. But like I read about keeping food diaries because people would say like cutting out certain foods helps like to like stop the inflammation and stuff. And I essentially cut out like most sugars. I cut out a few red meats. I mainly eat chicken now. I still eat like chicken, pasta and stuff. I try not to eat as much red meat, but once I started keeping a food diary and I was more active, I became less reliant on the medication, actually. Even now, I take my shot. I only take it once a month now.
Wow. That makes sense, though. Yeah.
It becomes to the point where if you stay active enough, your joints kind of liquefy themselves and they kind of keep them fluid how they should be. Also keeping that diet. Once you put a bunch of sugars and all this other stuff in your system, what basically arthritis is just your immune system attacking your joints.
Interesting. Okay.
Like in the short term, that's basically what it does. And the drugs they give you kind of deafen your immune system's response to that. So I don't get that inflammation anymore. It's also a risk, though, because I can get sick from stuff like this coronavirus.
Oh, really?
Yep.
No, we're going to lose Ryan.
I can die, guys. I can die within the next week. It's spreading.
It is spreading, dude. I'm seeing the news all the time. Yeah.
But it is an autoimmune, like, deafener. So I do find myself, like, when I do get sick, it'll be really bad.
No.
Like, I don't really get sick often because I try to keep myself healthy. I try to work out, go on runs, drink water. But when I do get sick, it'll be like I am hospitalized. It'll be like I'm just bedridden. I can't get up. It looks like I am death. Wow. Because my body just can't really, it can't produce all the stuff it needs to fight off like sickness anymore. Okay. Which is why I'm a little worried with this coronavirus.
Oh, yeah. Didn't we have some not sightings, but like
we had some
people here?
I was actually at UCSD Hillcrest when one of the patients was there.
Oh my god.
I was doing a ride.
Why are they here? I don't get it.
Honestly, I think they're just trying to find a vaccine, and like we have like pretty good resources. Yeah. But when I was at UCSD, they had this whole corner of the ER like quarantined off.
Oh yeah.
Like cones, and only people in hazmat suits were allowed in there.
Right.
But then they just had a sign on the door that said, "Cold, don't come in."
That's funny.
I think they just didn't really have something for coronavirus.
Yeah.
So they just put like a ghetto little sign on the door that said "Cold, don't come in."
Jeez, bro. Like.
I was like, "What's in there?" Oh yeah, that's our coronavirus patient. Oh,
Right. Yeah.
I'm gonna put a mask on. I don't want to die.
Now we're having like deaths in the U.S. now. It's kind of scary. Like, people are actually dying here. So.
And it's actually funny because most of these people that are coming over right now are actually trying to spread it. Did you hear about that? Like a lot of people that have made it out before the travel ban, like are trying to spread it just because like I guess they're a little mad that their country is being quarantined off basically, but some people think that like there's a whole overpopulation thing going on, and some people are like, if I'm dying, you're dying too.
What douchebags? What?
Like,
so you're gonna infect the entire world now?
Like,
oh my god,
that's pretty selfish. But one lady in a nursing home in Washington infected 26 people, and she knew she had it. She said she knew she had it, and she stayed in the nursing home and infected 26.
See, some of those people were like psychotic. So,
and I was just like, lady, why would you like? You're just trying to get the U.S. screwed right now.
Oh yeah, if she was intentionally doing it, she could probably get charged for that. Yeah.
I think she died. I don't think she can get charged now, but she's dead.
Good point. Yeah, but like, yeah, there heard a lot of deaths in Washington.
I mean, the good thing is like most.
What's the good thing? I guess
most of you guys are okay. That's the good thing.
Yeah,
it's only affecting older people and people with autoimmune deficiencies. That's like the people that are dying. Everyone else can pretty much run fluids through their system, take like the average cold like medications, and then they'll just have severe symptoms, and that's usually about it.
Okay.
But as for people with autoimmune deficiencies, their body just gives up. Damn. So it's rough, but.
So are you concerned? So you are concerned.
I am concerned mainly because of the line of work I'm going into.
Yeah.
This whole thing presents as cold-like symptoms, and that's mainly a lot of the medical aids we go on.
Wow. Okay.
Speaking of, like, I think, where was I? I was at my junior year. Junior year, I met Bridget.
Oh yeah.
Well, I got together with her.
Yeah.
Fun fact: if any of you know Bridget, she actually went to Mesa Verde with me, and she actually tried to go out with me in 6th grade, and I said no.
Whoa.
Isn't that awkward? Like,
wow, yeah.
You end up dating years down the line, and she was the one who told me, she's like, I actually tried to ask you out in 6th grade, and you said no. And I was like, oof. I don't remember that.
Big oof, yeah.
But wow. She became like a pretty big influence in my life. Mm-hmm. Pretty big motivator. I found myself going to school more. I found myself working out more, and I felt like I could really depend on her for stuff.
Yeah.
Come that summer, we were doing passing league for football, and I got another concussion. How many concussions I had? 10.
10?
10 right now. I'm sitting at 10.
Yeah, you're probably gonna die like at 70 at this
rate. Yeah, that's just that brain aneurysm.
Yeah. Like,
I think it was the summer before my senior year. You like how I say I think? I can't remember.
Right, yeah.
That's how you know it's bad.
Oof.
So about the summer before my senior year, I get this concussion, and I'm in the hospital, and it was funny because I really couldn't remember anything about what happened. Mm-hmm. And I wake up in the hospital, and I just see Bridget and my mom there talking, and I didn't really know what to do because like I had no idea what happened.
Right. Yeah.
So you're just staring up, and you're wondering, wait, what concussion is this?
Yeah.
But I remember coming out of that hospital and thinking, like, dang, she wasn't even at like the school, and she still like made it to the hospital. And I just realized like I wouldn't really have anyone else that I could depend on that much that would just know like when something's wrong, and like she would be there through pretty much everything. She really has like gotten me through most.
Yeah, you guys are like insufferable.
Yeah, we're almost at 3 years now.
Nice.
In April.
Yeah.
And then senior year was fun. I'll admit senior year was probably my best year in high school. Mm-hmm. I got to play football with you guys. I really was just getting through school. I really wanted to graduate, so that's why I really cracked down on school. I had to retake two freshman classes.
Oh,
No,
okay.
wait. One freshman class and one sophomore class. I had to retake sophomore history, the second half, and then I had to retake the second half of freshman English.
Mm.
And those weren't even hard in themselves just because my teachers were so chill with having a senior in their class. They were
Okay.
like, we know you know all this. Can you just like turn in your assignments and your essays and we'll give you the A?
Wow.
And I said, yeah. I showed up for a week of that English freshman class and I still got an A.
Wow.
But towards the end of the year, as you know, I did lose my dad towards the end of my senior year. It was a little bit rough around the time because I was still trying to figure out what I was doing after high school. At the time, I really just thought I was going to join the Marines, which I pretty much told all of you guys. I had no
I remember
plan.
that.
I had
Yeah.
no plan after high school, and I was like, I don't really think I'm going to last in college, so why not be a jarhead for a little while? And I thought it was fine. But then when my dad passed away, I felt very inclined to stay here and be with my family.
Right. Okay.
And at the same time, I was even receiving emails from GCU to go play rugby with them.
Oh wow.
And I was supposed to go to, it wasn't their tryouts, but they wanted to fly me out and look at the school and check the team out. And then I actually looked at this team online, and it's just all these big Samoan dudes, dude.
Right.
I was like, why do you want me?
Yeah.
You guys have these big old dudes, and I just never really thought about it too much because I didn't think about college. I didn't think college was the right path for me, especially going out of state. I wouldn't have all the resources I have here, right?
Right. Yeah.
And I eventually started going to, I stayed here because I didn't want to leave my family and I didn't want to leave my mom in the state that she was. So I ended up going to Miramar, trying to just do my general eds. And I couldn't really think of what major to do. So I started with business.
Yeah.
Intro to business. And that was the turning point for me. I really couldn't stand the business side of things just because it felt like I was going to be stuck behind a desk my entire life.
Right.
It felt like I would be doing the same thing pretty much every day.
Right.
And I would have no excitement in my life. And I wouldn't be able to be as active as I needed to be. That was the main thing. How active I need to be with the condition I have and everything.
Right.
But then I started hanging out with Nathan DeWeese and Ryan Hopkins again. And they went to SU too. But I mainly started hanging with Ryan because he worked at the same place as me. He worked at this pizza place called The Pizza over in 4S.
Okay.
And he told me about like this cadet program with San Diego he was doing. And I said, what's that? And he's like, it's basically this program for 16 to 22-year-olds who want to be firefighters, and they get the chance to train with them, basically. And it's a volunteer program, so you're actually a volunteer for San Diego, technically.
Okay.
And it's a good program. It really definitely gets you the basis and the knowledge you need. But I got into that I think at the end of my first year of college.
Okay.
And immediately I was pretty hooked. I liked the activities, the drills we were doing. We'd show up to drills at stations and we'd be working with their equipment and like working with the firefighters.
Right.
And as it goes, there's ranks. Like in normal firefighting, you have your probationary white shirts, you got your blue shirts, and then you got what Hopkins is right now, and he's ride-along. Okay. Ride-alongs are allowed to go on 24-hour ride-alongs with the firefighters, full gear and everything, nice. All their calls. Okay. I never got to that rank just because of school. I got up to blue shirt, but during my time in cadets, I did get to do 2 practice academies.
Okay.
As I told you before, firefighters before they get hired usually go through a 16-week academy. These were about a 4-day academy that you just showed up for about 12 hours.
Yeah.
It was a good experience. You get a lot of simulation work. You get to do live fires. You get to do like a live fire burn, put it out, and you get to go through what it basically feels like to be in an actual academy. And I got a lot of good experience with cadets. I got to work on 2 different fires. I got to give birth to a baby.
What?
Yeah, during one of my drills. It was
gross.
Very.
Was it like the Miracle of Life video? Remember that? And
Yeah. Oh,
like just like that or worse? Or
like
as bad?
worse.
Worse than
like,
that?
Because
Ew.
like that, there was all that fluid, but with mine there was like a lot of blood and like yellow amniotic fluid.
Yeah.
And the baby, I guess had a bowel movement when he was in the stomach still. So he had like, I forget what it's called. I don't know what they call it. I can't remember, but it's basically his bowels emptying, and it was all over his skin.
Oh.
Because he's kind of just floating in it, and they had to suction it out of his mouth and nose, and I was like, the smell.
Oh, yeah.
I can't even describe that smell, just because, like, woman needed to clean. She needed to clean. But that is why I'm not going into nursing.
Right.
That's why I don't want to do anything near, like, childbirth. But
right. Yeah.
most firefighters will get probably one or two of those calls in their career. And you know what's fun about that? I didn't get to clip the cord. Person who clips the cord is technically the person who delivered the baby.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's the name that goes on the birth certificate. So if I ever get to clip the baby's cord, I'm going on that kid's birth certificate.
That's crazy, yeah.
It's weird though, because you have to write down the location where it is. And I just thought about my cousin who was born on the side of the I-63.
Whoa.
63, and I was like, what do you put down for that? Like the next exit or like 163 South? That's his address. That's his birth address.
Wow, dude.
No, that's actually what they do sometimes. They'll just like, okay, he's in between this exit and this exit.
Interesting. Wow.
But as I was explaining to you before, like the whole fire thing, I kind of got into it pretty quick, and my mom was very happy about it because my mom actually knows a good amount of firefighters. She used to work for UCSD and OSHA.
Okay.
And basically they set the standards for a lot of like what fire and EMS do and what they kind of are required to know. She actually taught most of the firefighters, the chiefs, the captains we all know right now. She taught most of them CPR, first aid, and like most of the stuff they know. The head of the program at Miramar, Darren Hall, and Mary Kajardenson, one runs the EMT program, one runs the fire tech. Both worked with my mom while she was at UCSD.
Nice.
And they both have met me. I've met both of them. Both very nice people. And through my mom, I've probably met about 30 different firefighters, just hand on hand, and I try to remember each and every one of them. I'm actually supposed to go, me, my mom, and like 10 of them.
Okay.
It's pretty hard to schedule, obviously, because of all their schedules. But like me, my mom, and 10 other firefighters are supposed to go out to a lunch sometime soon.
Nice.
And they just want to interrogate me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, my mom will post on Facebook about my academies and all this other stuff. I just finished my EMT class, and she posted about it. And then her friend from Orange County, top paying department right now, messaged me on Facebook saying, if you ever need some interview practice, if you want to come to our station, if you even like want to come like do some ride-alongs, just hit me up and we'll set that up for you. And I really appreciated it, and I was like, dang. So I really do have enough connections to get where I like want to go at this point.
Right.
But I don't want to use my mom's connections as of this moment, just because I really want to get all this stuff on my own. I want to get my Fire 1, I want to get my CPAT, my BIDL, my EMT National Registry. I want to get all of this on my own.
Yeah.
And then once I have it, I can present it to these people, and they can be impressed with that, rather than them just thinking I'm my mom's kid.
Yeah, good point.
I'd rather build up my own reputation in this line of work than just go based off connections. And it's good to build up your resume, especially with firefighting.
Yeah.
Because most people, when they join, they have the bare minimum, but those people don't really get promoted to like higher ranks like captain or BC or anything like that, just because they have the bare minimum of like high school graduate, driver's license, and EMT. But me, right now, I'm still in school trying to get my Fire 1. I have to take 5 science courses and then 10 skills courses and then a graduation course at the end of the semester in order to get my Fire 1. And it's going pretty well right now. I'm doing 4 skills classes right now, and then 2 science classes, and then it's going pretty well. I wish I could. I wish I had started earlier, like Ryan Hopkins and Nathan DeWeese, because they just graduated.
Yeah.
And I wish Nathan, like I wish I had worked a little more with Nathan, because he definitely was the one who got me inspired into all this work.
Right.
He worked hard, like, to get where he is right now. He's volunteering with San Miguel.
Okay.
And I'm pretty certain he'll be hired, like, within the next year, like, if anything, because he's a hard worker, and I really think he's the person who got me into this line of work.
Nice, yeah.
And with this line of work, like I said, it's always different. You get something new every day, whether it's some crackhead overdosing on the street or a structure fire down the street.
Wow.
You get all these.
So it's not really just fires. It could be really...
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Far from it. If I'm being honest, that's about 10% of our calls.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Most of our calls are medical aids, alarms, car accidents. I remember I actually had a car accident the day after Christmas, this last Christmas.
Yeah.
And I remember the truck pulling up, and I'm sitting there talking to these firefighters, and I'm low-key laughing about it just because I was like, shoot, is it weird? I already know what you guys are going to ask me right now. And they're like, how do you know that? And I was like, because I took EMT, I'm taking fire classes right now, and I know what you guys are doing in my car.
Ooh, yeah.
And they're like, oh, okay. And I like, at the same time, I'm like bleeding from my face. I'm like flushed. I just look so out of it.
Damn.
And they're like, why are you being so smart when you look like that?
Right, yeah.
I'm like,
how bad was the accident?
Pretty bad.
Yeah.
I'll admit I wasn't buckled. That I got a lot of crap for that from both the firefighters, my mom and Bridget.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Basically, what happened, I was coming down this hill, and I was trying to make a turn onto my friend's street, and it was pretty wet that day. I'm still not 100% sure on what happened to my tires.
Yeah.
But I made the turn, and all of a sudden my wheels locked up, and like they just kept going, and then it hit the curb, and then from the curb, it kind of just went straight into a wall.
Whoa.
So the front of my car just hit this wall, and I wasn't buckled, so my 170-pound self flew forward, hit my face on the windshield, and then the airbag deployed late, and then just sent me flying into the passenger seat.
Whoa.
I'm not even joking. Here's the funny thing, though. More people from Westview actually came out. Omar, Adam Bodwell, Barack Asadi, and JT were all at Omar's house right there, and they all saw or they heard, and they came out. And I apparently went unconscious for a sec because I just flew.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
Flew.
The G-force.
Adam pulled me out.
Wow.
And I was like, "What the heck just happened?" And then I just felt all this blood, so much blood all over the ground just from my eye. I remember I had a gash here. Busted.
Do you know how
nose.
fast you were going? Roughly.
I think I was going around 10, 15.
Yeah.
It was just
once the wheels locked though, you're just like, oh shoot.
Yeah. Once they locked, I don't even know it all happened so quick.
Oh,
I didn't think to brake, because once the wheels locked up, I kind of just tried to fix the wheels. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then just when the airbag deployed late, I was still awake because I hit my head, and I was like, that happened, and then
that's what knocked you out. Yeah.
Yeah, just me flying across the car. And then and I'm laying there.
What was your first emotion when you woke up? Were you pissed, sad, angry?
I was actually scared because the way I was going, I should have hit this house. And
oh yeah,
that's the thing. When my tire hit the curb, it turned my car, and I went into the wall instead of the house.
Yeah.
And as soon as Adam woke me up, I asked him if I hit anyone. And I was like, did I hit that house? Is everyone okay?
Right.
Did I hit a kid? Is everyone? And I just kept asking. I was like, is everyone else okay? I know I'm fine. Is everyone else okay?
Yeah.
But that was the immediate thought in my head, is just because you hit someone with a car, and it's just what can you do? Mm-hmm. And it runs through your head. But once I realized no one was hurt, I just got up, looked at the car, kind of laughed a bit. And I was like, this is going to be a fun one to explain.
Yeah.
Especially I know how they check to see if you were buckled. Normally, there's like a little thing inside, like right here, that would have snapped when you yanked it.
Right.
And you're supposed to have this bruise, this red mark across your chest.
Yes, they knew.
So I was not even about to lie to the firefighters about this. I was like, they're like, were you buckled? No, sir. And then they looked in the back, and I don't have speakers. I didn't have speakers in my old car like that or Bluetooth, so I brought this big old boom box. I had this boom box that was just loud as hell, and I would buckle it in so it wouldn't fall over. And the firefighters look in the back, see my buckled up boom box, and then here I wasn't buckled, and they're like, so you didn't buckle, but you buckled up your music.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, that thing's nice. That thing cost me $300. But I did get a lot of crap for that.
Oh, yeah, dude. Wow.
And then after the accident, Bridget, my mom, my brother, they all met me at the hospital. And then, like...
Wait, so did you take the ambulance?
Yeah, I ended up taking an ambulance. Okay. I tried to tell them, I don't want to take an ambulance. Yeah. I know what I'm signing for. I know the refusal form. I know all this and that. I just want to go with my mom right now. Yeah. And then my mom was like, no, you need to go with them. I need to stay here while they tow your car. I was like, shoot. Oof. Fine. And then normally there's a very delicate process of putting a collar on, like the neck collar.
Yeah.
These paramedics did not give two craps about my neck, because like they just slapped it on in the laziest way I'd ever seen someone put a collar on. Yeah. I could legit fit my hand through the hole in the side they gave me. Wow. I was like, this is not secure, but we'll go with it. I get to the hospital and the nurse chewed on this paramedic, dude. She was like, what the heck is that collar? Like, and she fixed it. She was just like, I'm sorry you had to deal with that. And I was like,
yeah. You're just like dazed. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm on painkillers right now.
Yeah, you're just
I don't
like,
know
yeah,
what's
whatever.
going on.
Right.
Because they had to give me painkillers because I had 2 broken ribs.
Whoa.
Yeah, the airbag messed me up a bit. I had 2 broken ribs. I had I broke my nose right across like this. Whoa. Just straight across. So that was swollen. I had black eyes. And then they said something was up with my throat, like I had inflammation in my throat from all the force. Mm-hmm. But I remember, like, they gave me all these painkillers just so, like, I would calm down. Because I remember I started freaking out on the CAT scan because they were scanning my head, my neck, and my chest. Yeah. And all of a sudden, like, I guess all the loud noises got to me. Mm-hmm. And I just started hyperventilating. Right. And I felt like I was breathing through a straw. I was like, this sucks.
Yeah, wow.
And I guess that's what was wrong with my throat, is they said, like, when the airbag came and hit me, my throat just started to close up from all, like, the pressure. I had, like, bruising around here. Mm-hmm. So, like, it was scary, but I've definitely been in, like, worse injuries.
Worse?
I've been in worse.
Worse than that. Give me the worst one. The worst one.
Worst injury I've ever received was probably my broken wrist in 7th grade. Oh, okay. This thing... like, my thumb could basically touch, like, this part here. Like, it was bent that bad. And I remember it was at the skate park. It was me and Bryce.
Of course.
And I'll never forget this day. Bryce, I hope you don't either. Like, he came up to me after I just, like, went over this staircase. Yeah. And my board completely slipped out from under me. And I, like, didn't try to catch myself. It just straight slammed like that. Yeah. And being my skinny self at the time, right. It broke pretty easily. Yeah. And I'm dazed and confused. I look up, and my thing is just my thumb's back here, the bone's right there. And then Bryce comes over, I'm holding it, and I was like, dude, call an ambulance, I just broke my arm. And he's just like, are you sure?
Are you sure? Yeah. Ew, yeah.
No, I'm not sure at all. I'm just screaming in pain.
Yeah, you've probably been excruciating pain. Yeah.
And the worst part is, I had about 10 people around me recording.
World started.
And I was like, am I one of those people now?
Yeah,
Am I going to end up on freaking YouTube or freaking, like, one of those compilation videos?
You could probably find it. You know what I mean?
I feel like I could if I really looked it up.
Right.
Like... That was such a bad break, too. Even when the ambulance got there, they didn't know how to, like, reset it. So they did as best they could and did the ghettoest rap I'd ever seen. They used 2 pieces of cardboard. I'm not even joking. They got 2 pieces of cardboard from, like, like a nearby box or something, and they had to put it like on this side and then put the splint this way just to hold this bone.
What?
And I was like, this has to be the ghettoest splint. I mean, I give you guys points for creativity, but that had to be the ghettoest splint I had ever seen.
Yeah.
And then I didn't even end up going in the ambulance. I ended up driving with my mom to Pomerado, actually.
Okay.
Because we were like, let's just go to Pomerado. It's probably cheaper and like they'll be quicker, not as much of a wait.
Right.
We get there, they give me very tiny painkillers, and I'm still deformed as hell.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
And then they tell me, oh, yeah, no, we don't have the equipment here to reset your arm. We need like live x-ray scans in order to reset it, and we don't have that here, so you got to go to Children's.
Ugh, that sucks.
Another hour, like another 45-minute drive to Children's, still in pain.
Yeah.
And then I get there, and they're like, okay, what's wrong? We get in the ER, and I'm like, second person today, I hate you guys.
Right, yeah.
And then I was like, I broke my arm, okay, can I get in? And then I ended up waiting in that waiting room for 2 hours. I'm not even joking. They gave me one morphine tablet.
This is like an urgent care? What is this?
This
Emergency?
is at Children's in the ER, yeah.
Yeah, ER, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I took they gave me one morphine tablet to like help with the pain.
Yeah.
2 hours go by. They're like, all right, let's take your vitals and stuff, get your weight and height. And then they did. Then they moved me into another waiting room, which I wait for an hour. Yeah. And I'm still sitting
here. Did you have
just
insurance at the time or no?
I had insurance, but it was just so busy that night. I guess they didn't have the proper people. Okay. And they apparently they had to sedate me in a way that I guess for my age could have stopped my heart. I don't know. They were like, he's pretty light, he's pretty young. Yeah. We're gonna have a whole team of heart like people in here in case he goes into cardiac arrest. And they had to get those people all together. That's what that second waiting room was for, I guess. And then when they finally get me into my bed, they give me like the anesthesia to knock me out. Right. It didn't knock me out. They thought it would, but I was like half there, half not. Whoa. And I was kind of watching them reset my arm. Oh. And at one point I even said that it was hurting, and they were surprised that I was talking. Wow. They're like, you shouldn't be talking right now. You're drugged all hell. And I was like, not really. no, I can feel this. And then this was the top, like this topped it all off. This whole day, this like 12-hour period of me having my arm broken. Wow. Yeah. They get the thing reset, and then they scan it again. It looks like we went too far, actually. Yeah. We actually kind of need to re-break it and pull it back a bit. Re-break it, wow. Because like, they had basically put it like all the way back, and the bones were lined up and like in a good way. But it was too far past, and it would have grew in a like past. I don't know. Like they basically had to pull my arm back after my anesthesia wore off. And they're like, this is just going to hurt a bit. No, it's not. I don't feel loopy anymore. Oh, this is just going to take a sec. And then they scan it again, put the cast on, like after I was screaming for 20 minutes. Oh, yeah. I was like, can I like get a second? I just had this whole day happen. Yeah. And they were like, nope, one after the other. Keep going. And then once I got that set, I remember, this was just before football in 8th grade. Okay. I just got it off before the season. I had my cast. And I was starting to get back into workouts. I remember, like, right as I got out of mine, Danny broke his, and then Zane broke his. Oh, yeah. And then we were, like, me and them would be doing our one-armed push-ups on the side. I remember you guys were on the sidelines, yes. Yeah, we would be the cripple crew. We'd be on the sideline doing sit-ups and one-arm push-ups because we couldn't do anything else. Yeah, this is all coming back to me. I remember you were in a sling. Yeah. Yeah, okay. That was, like, the beginning of that, like, season, and it journey. That brace sucked because it was a very I was still pretty skinny right at the time, yeah. And they couldn't find a brace that would like completely squeeze around my arm, and it was just kind of there to be there, like it wasn't actually supporting anything. So wow. I would try to like put pressure on it sometimes, and I could legit feel like the bone kind of like I could feel it. I could feel like the instability of my bone. Does it still crack to this day when you do this kind of thing, motion or anything? Yeah, like even if I feel right here, I can feel like kind of where the break was. Yeah. There's like a little indent. Uh-huh. And that had to have been the most painful injury had to experience.
Yeah.
Just because everything else was kind of like mild, or I've had it before. That was the only one where it's like, shoot, I've never had a compound break like that.
Right. Oh yeah.
Like, like with the 10 concussions, those I got used to. It just became an annoying headache.
Yeah.
Like, I think I got my first concussion. First concussion was in RPBW when I was like in 5th grade.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this kid was pissing me off the whole game. This was back when I played. I mainly played defense, and I still played defense in high school. But I mainly stuck towards defense in RPBW just because of all the aggression and stuff.
Yeah.
This kid got to the point where I legit picked him up, and because he just kept blocking me after the play and stuff, and he was just being that kind of player that wanted to piss you off. It got to the point where I picked him up by his arm and I flipped him over my shoulder, and then the next play, he was mad too, so we both lowered our helmets into each other, and then you just saw 2 little kids bounce.
Yeah.
Like we bounced off each other.
Damn.
And he was down, I was down. And we both were just like, what is this? What's a concussion?
Right, yeah.
You're like in 5th grade. You've heard of a concussion, but like, that first time you get a concussion, it sucks.
Yeah, you just feel super, like, it's almost like you're clouded or something. How do you describe it?
I wouldn't even say clouded. I would feel like more squeezing of the brain. Like, I feel like the squeezing, and then all of a sudden you feel very lightheaded.
Was your vision off too?
Yeah, I had double vision.
Yeah.
I threw up a bit.
Yeah.
You feel like you smell weird things. Like, you start to smell, like, off scents, and you think your scent's kind of messed up. Whoa. But, like, if I'm being honest, I think that's just an effect of it.
Probably.
Because I remember, like, when I first had it, I was, like, smelling weird, like, beef. I was smelling like meats, like rotten meat.
Yeah.
I was like, what's that smell? I know that ain't the players. They stink a different type of way.
Right, yeah.
But those concussions did eventually have like somewhat an effect on me.
Right.
Once I got up to 7, I noticed like I was having a lot of memory issues. About like from 6th grade to before, I have like very hard times remembering most of like just stuff I used to do, unless it comes up in conversation or I get like a specific detail from like my childhood. It's pretty hard to like remember certain things.
Yeah.
And that's just like straight up a result of the concussions, which is what the doctors told me. They also told me I think it was were you on my team? No, you weren't on my team. So in 7th grade, I actually 7th grade I was on Bryce's team, and his dad was one of our coaches. I got in an altercation with this one. I say altercation, but we fought. I was a center, believe it or not, back in RPBW.
Yeah.
I was a center.
Wow.
And this kid couldn't get past me pretty much all game, and he got pissed enough to the point where like he drove me to the ground. Like, he just pulled me to the ground, and we were kind of flipping each other back and forth over and over.
Right.
Play was gone. Play is just far down the field. And the camera's not even on us on this point. Only person that's watching us is my mom and Bryce's dad. And I was just, like, trying to get on top of this fool. And the play's over, so I let go. And I'm just laying there for a sec. And he, like, pushes up all frustrated. And, like, I was about to get up. And I look over. And this fool cocked his foot back as far as he could and kicked me right here. Like, right in the neck and, like, right underneath the helmet. And, like, you just saw my neck fly like this. And then I didn't move because I couldn't move for the next like 10 minutes. And I hear my mom screaming on the sideline like she was about to beat this kid. Right. And then Bryce's dad ran out and like shoved the kid off of me. And I was like, what the heck just happened? And from that, like, I got a strain. Like I think they said it was like a slight sprain in my C5, like my C5 or C6. And they basically said, like, you may have, like, some twitches here and there. Like, I'll get, like, muscle twitches or finger twitches just every now and then just because, like, I can't control them anymore.
Right, yeah.
And they said it's nothing bad. Like, only thing that could, like, stem later on in life from this is just possible, like, Parkinson's and just, like, me getting shaky.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, that's later in life, though. I'm worried about now.
Right.
But that kid actually ended up getting me suspended for the rest of the season and himself.
What? Oh, okay.
He got suspended for like the rest of the season. I got suspended for the rest of like our actual season. I got to play in playoffs, but he was just done.
Oh,
He
for
was
sure,
done.
yeah.
Like I remember my little brother and my cousin were there, and I remember getting pulled into the ambulance. I see them crying, and I was like, I don't even think like I'm that badly hurt, but I'm pissed. Like I couldn't even do anything. Like I'm so mad that I couldn't even get like back at this kid. I eventually saw him a year later. He was still suspended sitting on the sideline.
Damn.
Yeah. I saw him. I was like, that's him right there, sitting on the sideline in his jersey. And then my coach, like me and my coach were laughing about it. I was like, yeah, that's the fool that kicked me in the neck. And I've dealt with a lot of jerks in football that just like they want to start some stuff. You know those players that
I
just
never
want to start.
really dealt with that. It's so
Really?
interesting.
Like I feel like it's mainly a DB receiver thing.
Maybe.
There's so much crap talking amongst DBs and like
Is
receivers.
that why?
Like they'll line up and just be at each other's throats sometimes. And it's just like, especially receivers, when they miss a block or they feel like they can't block someone, they will grab this person and just manhandle them.
Damn.
I've seen it way too many times, and it's just it gets crazy because in high school, especially in high school now, like there's so much drama in high school.
Yeah.
But I see it too often that like most of these receivers are like trying to act all tough, and there's no reason for it. Like just play the
receivers,
game. But do you remember that fight that broke out with MC that one year?
Wait, what year?
Our sophomore year.
Sophomore year. Okay, I don't remember that.
So I think it was between.
Oh, it was an away game. We were at MC, right? Yeah. Okay.
I don't remember who that was between, but it was between two. It was Joe and I think Spencer.
Oh.
I think it was Joe. No.
Wait.
I'm remembering. I remember all of us just coming like together at one point, and we were all about to just like start shoving each other, and then the refs just broke it up. I started to realize why we had cops at our MC games.
Yeah.
Like
it gets
I remember the senior year. Remember when we were playing Brawl? Did you play in the playoffs? No, that was our junior year. Did you play in the playoffs junior year? Did you go up with them?
See, I didn't play senior year.
Oh, you didn't play junior year?
I quit after what?
I thought it was
Coach
you
Woody
quit
left.
senior year.
No, I was done after sophomore. It was once they changed the program. I'm just like I can't deal with it. Yeah. So what happened then, though?
So junior year, we went up to Brawley for a game for playoffs, and I didn't get to play in this game because I had gotten another concussion at the MC game.
Yeah.
But we were up at Brawley, and I remember we were getting like so many BS calls because these refs were hometown refs, and it was
gross.
pissing off a lot of our players.
Oh yeah.
And I remember Robert like was getting like 5 penalties that game, all because of this one player that was pretty much holding him the whole time. And then I just remember Robert picking this 280-pound man up and just slammed him down. Yeah. And I had never like felt like a thud like that from football. You know, you can like feel it, you're just like, ooh.
Yeah.
No, that one I was just like, he's dead. He's dead.
Yeah.
Because I've been hit by Robert before.
We all have, yeah. It's not fun, no.
It's like seeing stars for the first time. You just kind of look up and you regret it.
Yeah.
What would you say? Who would you say was like the hardest hitter on our football team, besides Robert, obviously?
Maybe Rodney.
Really?
You were gonna say Travis.
I was gonna say either Travis or.
Because my Rodney used to spear people all the time. He always
See, Rodney wasn't a defensive player though. He was an offensive running back that.
He played both ways. Wait,
he did play both ways,
okay.
But he was mainly a running back, and that's when he hit. Is because he liked to lower his shoulder.
Oh yeah, he switched junior year to running back. I remember now.
I remember on our JV. You remember the Goon Squad?
Yeah.
You remember when Rodney ran that like 40-yard run and he just like plowed through like 4 different people and then messed up his like liver.
Oh, liver.
He
Whoa.
like got hurt. Remember, he like
Damn.
got out of the game and he like was like saying his side hurt or something, but he
Wow.
just plowed through like 4 players.
Yeah.
He was a strong hitter, but I was gonna say either Travis, maybe Joe. He was pretty.
Oh, Joe. Yeah.
Joe Bennett was like.
No. Yeah. It's like another good.
I feel like if Joe was faster, he definitely would have hit harder. Like he was fast, but if he had like the speed that our receivers had, then he would destroy some people. He was a good linebacker.
Oh no, he was really good. Yeah.
And then Kwame was pretty good at linebacker. Tyler.
What about Tyler?
Tyler Slayton was a beast his senior year. I remember I was like scared to walk up to him on the sideline sometimes because he'd be like all pissed from the play after.
Yeah, I know
Where
that
are my
Tyler.
salt tablets, Sil?
Yeah. Classic line. Yeah.
He legit would have these salt tablets, and we'd always make him like take his salt tablets after like he would get pissed. We're like, Tyler, no, take your salt.
Right.
Like he was honestly one of the more aggressive players on that team.
Interesting.
Because I don't know if you really saw it like his sophomore and his freshman year.
He kind of sucked.
He was kind of quiet. Nah, he was just quiet.
I'm calling
I feel like
Tyler
he
out.
was quiet. He was a quiet person sophomore and freshman year.
Quiet wise, yeah.
But then like junior and senior year came around and he got up on varsity.
Intensity.
And
I know
then-
I saw that in
And
games.
then he just was like
passionate.
he was a
Tenacity.
beast. And then
I remember that, yeah.
I wish like I could have trained with him a little. I wish I could have lifted with Tyler, seen him like in the gym. I feel like that was aggressive. And then I remember Justin Fernandez. He's actually pretty big now, if you've seen him. He was actually the first person I started lifting with, other than my brother. He went to 24 Hour Fitness with me, and I worked out with him and Austin Diggs. You remember Diggs?
Yeah, I know Diggs.
Yeah. Him, Austin Diggs, Jonathan Hess, and Daniel Berman. Daniel
Okay.
Berman, man, he kept the gym interesting. He made our lifts interesting, and then I remember he'd always want to play basketball, him and Austin.
Yeah.
But he would get whooped by me and Justin any day of the week.
Yeah. I remember I came once. Oh, I came one time with you guys.
think
I don't
I
know if you were there
remember
that day.
I
maybe.
think, yeah.
No, you were, yeah. And that was the time when I really realized how swole you were. And I was out of shape. I was like, damn, Ryan's doing so much weight. What?
Dude, I remember when Justin actually started lifting with me. He wasn't that big before he started lifting.
Yeah.
Like, he was just mainly, like, he wasn't muscular. He was, like, bigger dude, and he was, like, healthy. But now he's actually,
He's
like...
swole, I know,
built.
yeah.
He's, like, a freaking bodybuilder now.
Yeah.
But when we first started lifting, me and him were kind of, like, on equal terms and building up towards the same thing.
So
but he just had
Has
more...
Justin surpassed you at this point? Yeah.
Depends on what you're talking about.
Oh,
I can
okay.
still outbench you, Justin. I'll quote that. He can
Okay.
definitely outsquat me.
Okay.
Me and him built our arms together. Basically,
Yeah.
we both started lightweight,
Mm-hmm.
like around like 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
But then we started doing this thing called buddy curls, which was the thing that honestly made my arms what they were.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
clearly,
basically,
yeah.
it's like you do 1, he does 2. You do 3, he does 4, and you do that all the way up till I think we do 20, 21,
Yeah.
and then you go back down.
Mhm.
And those were the type of workouts we'd get into. We used the Metcons,
Okay.
the Metcons that Coach Williams would do, and we basically made a schedule for ourselves. We had 2-a-days, so we would do our morning lifts with Williams and weight training. And sometimes we'd even go to the gym at like 5 a.m. before that. Like we
Whoa,
would
yeah.
sometimes do 2-3 day lifts. And that's just how dedicated we were at the time. And we had time for it, honestly. And then I also would go at night, like Justin, Austin, Daniel. And it was funny because we always planned it. We planned it out. Chest Monday, back and bi Tuesday, legs Wednesday, triceps Thursday, bis Friday.
Right.
And we planned it out, and it became a very good schedule. And I think having that consistency, having that daily consistency of lifting really helped me get to where I am.
Yeah.
It definitely, the diet too. As you saw, like I started bringing like a gallon of water around with me everywhere.
Yes. Yeah.
That is one of the best tips I can ever give for getting cut to anybody is just drinking water. Because as you drink all that water and you work out, it helps to cut down like the fat like a lot more, and it helps to work it more into muscle. And most people don't understand that. Like they just see people drinking water and they think they're drinking water just to drink water like that.
Yeah.
But it's actually so beneficial. It even helped with my arthritis at some points.
Oh,
like
nice.
drinking all that water, I felt a lot better. I felt a lot healthier, and things just felt a lot more fluid. You know, I felt like I could get through my day without getting groggy, without getting tired. It makes you feel more awake when you actually get fluids in your system. But eating wise, I switched to chicken. I switched to pasta. You remember the meal plans I used to bring to school?
Yeah.
I would bring chicken Alfredo and then like 4 roast beef sandwiches.
Yeah.
And Kevin would just be like, dude, how do you eat all of that throughout the day and chug your water? And my stomach just grew, man. Like it grew to this size where I could legit hold 3 square meals a day along with all those.
Nice. Damn. Yeah.
But it's been a fun road of high school. Now that I'm onto like this whole fire track, it really gives me a sense of a sense of purpose. I feel like I've really found what I want to do in life.
Yeah, so like your identity almost?
Pretty much. I feel like this is an actual like career for me. I've never felt so excited about any kind of job or any kind of opportunity like this. And it's something that's always going to be different, which is probably what I like most about it. It's just I'm never going to be doing the same thing another day in my life.
Yeah.
It's always just going to be something different, meeting new people, doing different things, and I'm always going to be active, which is something I need in my life. And that's something I like with the whole firefighting thing. And it's actually pretty interesting if you ever read into how like fires work and how they handle the situations, like IC command and stuff, and you just learn about like a lot of the field for fire now is EMS. So you're actually required now to like know a lot more. Like the whole EMT standards has changed like since most of these firefighters are brought on. You actually need to be recertified in your EMT every 2 years.
Okay.
So that's how like much EMS has been incorporated to like this line of work. So it's pretty good to like have a good medical knowledge, which is why I'm trying to go to paramedic school eventually.
Right.
So once I finish these classes, I want to do, I already have my national registry for EMT, so I'm trying to get hired with either AMR, Max Care, or Care Medical. Those are the 3 ones we have here. But if I can get hired with them this summer or this coming year, then I can get my 6 months, do paramedic school, and if I finish that, then I'm pretty much guaranteed to get hired at whatever department I try. Because right now I have firefighters at Orange County, Chula Vista, Coronado, San Diego. I have all these different connections that'll give me the interviews, give me the interview prep, the ride-alongs I need. And I feel like I can definitely get the work done.
Right. So it's like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Is it that
5 years?
Finishing up all the schooling and stuff, or the paramedic schools?
I'm hoping in 5 years I can be an engineer on a rig.
Okay.
Either an engineer or a captain. Just because, like, if I could be a captain, honestly, I wouldn't say I'd need to go any higher than that. I don't really see the need in being a battalion chief or an officer or anything like even a chief. I could never really see myself being a chief just because, again, that's desk jockey job sometimes.
Right.
But if I could get to the rank of captain in any department, I think I'd be pretty happy with my life. Most of these captains are making 150, 160 a year, depending like what department you're working for.
Okay.
And it's a pretty good job just because it gives you benefits for your family.
Yeah.
It gives you like health benefits, and your kids like get to say, yeah, my dad's a firefighter. You know? Like
that's the real reason.
He gets to ride Big Red, you know.
Yeah.
And that's another reason I want to be an engineer. Is they're the ones driving. I want to be able to drive one of those trucks just because it seems exciting, and I want to be able to blare those sirens every time you guys are trying to sleep.
Yeah. Oh, damn. Dick. So you're probably gonna move to Orange County, right? Because you said the pay is good up there.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna move to Orange County. Me and Bridget are planning on moving out soon, actually.
Okay.
So once I get hired at a department, I'll probably be making a base pay of around like 70 to 80 grand a year, and that's like as a probationary firefighter. and that's for those first 6 months.
Okay.
Even then, I have enough to pay for like a house with Bridget and her job.
Damn.
So I'm
okay.
hoping to move up either like Riverside, Orange County area, and then not be too far. It's where I could still come down here, visit my family and stuff,
Right.
see my friends, go do things down here at the beach.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, yeah, I want to be close enough to my station, close enough to my work, to where I don't have to take a 4 a.m. commute to work. You know.
Yeah. Right.
Because most shifts for these departments start at 5:30, 6ish, depending.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping I can definitely just get everything settled within like the next year or two, and I'm hoping like within a year or two I'll be hired, because like
Nice.
that's how it's looking right now. Within a year or two.
Okay. It was long. Like, it felt really long. I don't know. We still got a couple more questions. Don't worry. Yeah. So, what are some hobbies and passions right now on the side?
I do like. I've been going to the beach a lot. I've been surfing and skimboarding a lot.
Okay.
And then lifting, obviously, that's
Yep.
been a hobby since high school.
Yeah.
Right now, I was coaching. You're gonna hate me for this. I was coaching for Del Norte for a little while.
What?
I was coaching football for their freshman team this
Interesting.
last season.
Okay.
They were a good team, but football's falling off, man.
Everywhere.
Like it
Yeah.
just, I feel like it's just going very downhill. Even my brother at Westview right now, and he's telling they didn't have a freshman team this last year.
Okay, they do have one.
No, they're not even gonna have one this next year.
I
either.
thought Tyler told me they got rid of the freshman and JV. Is that true? Or JV still a thing?
So my brother played on JV this last year. They got rid of freshmen last year.
Okay.
Coach Williams quit this last season after the last one,
Yeah.
and now they're getting a whole new staff.
Thank God.
Completely new staff.
Now, didn't he quit and then come back? I heard something about that too.
So at midway through the season, he claimed he was going to leave and he was just going to quit, but then he kind of came back. And then like after the season, he's like, I don't want to coach here anymore. I'm just going to teach.
Yeah, we suck. So that's the real reason why, dude.
I feel like not this next varsity team, but the one after that might do good.
Might do
because I've been scoping. I watch Prep Pigskin Report still.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, dude! I can't watch it sometimes. Some of these players, dude, they don't hit. There's like not like a lot of contact anymore. A lot of these players are scared to make that hit.
It's the CTE stuff as well. That whole thing blew up, and yeah.
I feel like it's a lot of the parents too. A lot of the parents are always like, I don't want my kid getting hurt, this and that.
Yeah.
Stop making them do all this, and don't make them do Cali drill anymore. No,
What? They're getting rid of that?
They got rid of Cali drill.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
the
they had to.
softies, dude.
There's legit like a rule now that says they can't do Cali, but they've made modified versions of it. I'm like, they need to learn to hit somehow, and they're not going to learn in the game.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's one thing I struggled with my Del Norte players is my coaches that I had. They wouldn't let us tackle more than 10 minutes during practice. Like we'd get 10 minutes of full-on contact and everything else, scouting everything. We'd go to a running up, like hold them up. That's how we used to kind of do.
Right.
But we would still like run and hit the person and wrap them up. You know.
Yeah.
They legit kind of started their feet and just go like this. And I was like, this isn't football. Like even in RPPW, I was worked harder than this.
Yeah.
RPPW, we were hitting each other all practice long, and I just feel like it's a lot different because of the parents.
Fucking parents, yeah. It's kind of sad because so you just see a decline in football basically.
Yeah, and even my mom will say it's the parents' fault, like because all these parents are so protective over their kids, but the kids need to toughen up at some point. They get to high school, they need to be able to take a hit or two.
Right.
But that's how they raise their kids. Not my choice.
Yeah, that sucks. Okay, how about this? What talent or gift is unique to you, would you say?
Let's see, talent. I would say.
Yeah, really think on it.
So many. No.
Damn. Yeah, no.
I would say. I wouldn't say I have too many like talents. I guess like I excelled very well in. I would say probably not lifting.
You know what I would say? I know this is you, but I feel like you're willpower, dude. Honestly. your tenacity.
I
You
honestly,
overcame all the BS of your body. You know what I mean? In the sense of you dealt with all the injuries and stuff, and you overcome it, and now you're bigger than that.
Yeah,
That's
and
what
that's
I
one
think.
thing
But yeah,
I kind of agree. I never really wanted my body to define
right.
my limits.
Yeah.
And that was one thing throughout high school. I always tried to keep out of my head is that my body had limits.
Yeah.
And once I got everything working, I really just got past all that.
Yeah.
I didn't feel the pain of all that dragging me down anymore, and I really felt like I could get through everything. I've had lots of obstacles
Right.
in life,
Mm-hmm.
but how we overcome those obstacles is really what determines how much willpower you have, as you say. How you overcome these things or how you deal with them really shows who you are. And for a long time, I obviously didn't handle it the best. I let it get the best of me, but that was just because I really didn't know what to do at the time. I didn't think the medications were going to work. It felt pretty like nothing was going to get better, and I was just kind of buying myself time until I was just completely crippled.
Mm-hmm.
But once I really started working to get better, I said I don't want to be crippled. I don't want to be bedridden all day. I don't want to be hurting these old people. I want to be an active person.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be able to look at myself and be happy with how I look, how my body works, and I want to feel good. And that really drove me to do everything I needed to do. And even with everything, the arthritis, the injuries, even my dad passing, I didn't let anything really take me off that path once I was on it.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of kept bettering myself as I could.
Right.
And that's what I feel like I'm doing now with school and learning and all this lifting, doing cadets and everything. I'm bettering myself.
Damn, powerful, Ryan MacGilfrey. Okay, I'll ask you this question. What is kind of more funnier one? What grinds your gears, would you say?
Let's see. Grinds my gears.
Yeah.
As you know, I used to work in food.
Okay.
I hate customers that are very oblivious, very arrogant, ignorant. Just the type that are so. I had a lady come in to my pizza shop and ask me if we sold burgers.
Bro.
I just have a patience level.
Yeah.
But it's just to a point where people can be so ignorant and just so how.
Yeah.
And it happens mainly in the food business. People will ask you, "Oh, what's in the mint chip ice cream?"
Right.
They'll ask you stupid questions like that, and I just can't handle that grinds my gears is when people ask really stupid, ignorant questions.
Interesting.
And I'm just where did that question even come from?
Right. Yeah.
If you say it in your head, it sounds stupid.
Why did she think burgers at the pizza place? How?
I even told her there's a Wendy's right down the street.
Yeah. What?
The place was literally called Na Pizza.
Wow. Yeah.
Italian joint, and I'm just do you see a
Was
burger?
this lady really old or something?
No, she was a mid-20s little lady just walking in, so serious too, the serious look on her face, smiling. She's like, "So, how much are your burgers?"
No way.
And I looked at her, and I didn't know how to respond because I thought she was joking at first.
Right.
And I was like, "Ma'am, this is a pizza shop," and she's like, "So how much?"
No. Oh my god.
There's a Wendy's down there. You have to be nice to customers too.
Yeah,
That's the other thing. You can't show how pissed you are. And it's all right, calm. All right, man, there's a Wendy's down the street. You can get a burger from there. And then as soon as they leave, you just tell your coworkers how stupid they are.
Yeah.
And I worked with Ryan Hopkins and James, so we'd always talk about how stupid our customer
Ever
base
trolled
was.
any customers before?
No, I had a customer try to troll us once though. He tried to steal our tip jar.
Whoa.
And I actually ended up. He stole $9.50. Keep this all in mind before I tell this.
Okay.
He looked at me and my coworker as he was grabbing it from our counter, and we were busy as hell, so we thought we wouldn't notice.
It's I'm gonna take this.
I was a shift lead at the time, so I was not about this. I was like, no. I hopped over the counter, and I told my coworker, "Tell James I will be right back." and I chased this fool outside, and I tackled him in the parking lot,
Yeah.
and he smashed our tip jar.
No.
And
Not the
like
chip jar.
I have him there in a headlock for like 10 minutes until the cops get there.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm starting to realize what I did. I just ran and tackled this dude for $9.50.
Dude, it's tip money, bro.
It got even better when the cop picked up all the money and started counting it on his hood.
Wow.
He was just like 901, 902.
Yeah.
And he looks at me 903. I was like, okay, I get it. I tackled a dude for less than $10.
Dude.
And then this guy who I tackled tried to get out of the cuffs, which like paramedics and cops will argue about this so much. Like he was like, "Oh, my neck hurts. I can't be in cuffs," but he was fine the whole time. He literally was hitting his shack as I had him in a headlock.
Yeah, that's funny.
I was like, "Dude, you're going to jail. You might as well just put that down." And I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "My neck hurts too much. I can't be in these cuffs." And the paramedic legit's trying to like tell the cop to get the cuffs off him and put the collar on and get him on the gurney. And these two start arguing. Like I legit like saw a paramedic, a firefighter, and a cop arguing. The firefighter low key ended up breaking it up after a minute.
You're like, that's the man.
the paramedic was getting in this cop's face. I had never seen a.
Okay, who was in the right in that situation? Would you say? Or
The
was
cop.
it the cop. Okay.
This guy was suffering from something we call allergic to cuffs.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he's just allergic to the cuffs, and he wanted out of those so he could be taken to the hospital. But the only reason is because this guy was on probation for selling drugs.
Oh,
So
damn,
like they
yeah.
found this, they ran his record. They're like,
Oh,
"Oh,
they're
so
like-
you're on probation for selling drugs." And then like sure enough, they found drugs in his hat and his like stuff.
Damn.
So this kid got arrested, and then this was the cop that was on scene that always came into our shop too.
Interesting.
Like
Okay.
he worked around the area and he'd always come in and he recognized me. He's like, "Hey, good job tackling him." I was like, "Yeah, it sucks because we have to close the store now and I have to do all this extra work and show you the cameras."
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like,
that's funny.
Yeah, but the cops are. Honestly, I think they were in the right there
Mhm,
because paramedics will say, "Oh yeah, they shouldn't be in cuffs when they're on the gurney," because that's how we're taught. But the cops were definitely in the right there.
I got you.
I'd
Okay.
say.
All right. Wrapping up here. If I'm sure since you watched all the episodes, you know like the question. But what word would you describe yourself or put? What would you describe yourself to be this year? If you can choose like one word.
One word I would probably say that is a very interesting question actually. I've seen
Yeah.
the last few episodes and I saw like everyone thinking. I was like, huh.
Right.
Well, I would say at this point in time, I would feel. I'm thinking of like a phrase right now. I'm trying to shorten it into one word.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah.
I mean, I would say I feel very confident with like myself. I feel confident that I'm doing okay with what I'm doing. I feel confident in where I'm going in life. I feel
Okay.
confident in my health and pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And just confidence
There you go, yeah.
really gets me to like uplift myself, you know?
Okay,
Keeping
yeah.
that confidence in myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right then. All right, guys. That concludes the episode of Life Coach Kochka. Ryan, I really appreciate you coming on.
I really
This was
appreciate being
fun. Yeah, dude. Yeah, we should really reconnect and stuff like that because it's crazy that you're still
Definitely.
here and we just don't talk. You know?
Yeah, we get busy with our outside
That's really what
lives,
it
but
is. Yeah.
it's good to see you again, man.
Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Catch you guys later.